All right, so I have a comparison for you between the Leaf Dermaplaner, which is the refillable one that uses safety blades, versus the Tinkle razor, which I think is one of the more popular disposable razor brands. I have personally been using the Tinkle for at least a decade or more, and I recently switched to the Leaf Dermaplaner a couple of months ago. Um, Neither of these were given to me. I bought them with my own money, and this is just a comparison. Um, so these two here, lengthwise, is almost the same. The leaf is ever so slightly longer of a blade edge than the Tinkle. The biggest difference, in my opinion, that makes the leaf superior is that on the Tinkle, hopefully my camera, I don't know, it's hard to show because it's so small, but on the Tinkle, the guard over the blade edge there, I have found over the years that quite often I will get one where the little tines on there, they're really, really thin, almost like the edge of a fine comb. And sometimes I'll have a little guard piece that's broken and I will go to use it on my face and it will scratch my face, almost like cut me, like it'll leave tiny little fine scratches behind. And if sometimes if it doesn't do it the first time, because we're all trying to get our stretch our products out as long as we can, so I will reuse it throughout the week a few times for a touch up, and sometimes on the second or third use for a touch up, then one of those little pieces will break off and scratch me. And I just find that even on the first use, these just don't seem as sharp, or at least in comparison to the leaf, it's definitely not as sharp or as clean of a cut. I feel like rather than, shaving or brushing those little fuzzy hairs off, it's almost like pooling on my skin, and it can be very uncomfortable and very unpleasant and irritating, versus the leaf, which gives me a really nice, clean, fresh, um, smooth skin after it removes that top layer of the fuzzy hairs and does the exfoliation. My skin just feels and looks better afterwards, noticeably better with the leaf versus with the Tinkle and other similar disposable brands, basically. Um, so size-wise, as far as the handle length, is really similar, but you can see here that the leaf has a better angle. This actually makes it a lot easier to use. It's a little more ergonomic for, especially when you're doing, on the opposite side of your face there. It's a better angle. This is more straight and this is more angled. And I'm sure, common sense tells you that this one makes more sense. So that's just a couple of differences for me, um, that make the leaf superior. Plus, long term, there's a lot of savings to be had there because you can bulk buy safety razors and not, you don't really have to worry about running out, versus these, which have to be replaced at least. I mean, I don't know how many times everybody else is using these. I have to use it like multiple times a week. So at least once a week, I was replacing this. And I would subscribe, and then sometimes I would run out before my next subscription shipment would come. And this is way cheaper to just buy safety razors in bulk and just always have them on hand, so I don't have to think about it, I don't have to worry about it, I won't never run out. These seem a little more hygienic because you can replace the razor so frequently, and it's just like a cleaner, sharper edge. So you're getting more use out of it, and this is better durability wise. It lasts longer for more touch-ups before it gets noticeably dull, versus this, which I feel like second or third touch up with these things these days, they're just useless. So that's just my experience with these and how I feel about them and why I am really enjoying my leaf razor at this point. Although if you need a disposable for travel, you don't want to lose this or whatever, these still are great to have in a pinch, and I keep them around for my daughter, who doesn't need to use either of these things as frequently as I do yet at this point in her life. So she still gets this until I want to cough up the cash to buy her something nicer. But I would have been really happy with this as a gift or something like that too. So I would keep that in mind for any young women in your life or moms or whatever, I don't know, anyone who's into skincare who wouldn't be offended at this type of gift, you already know they're using this sort of thing. They would probably really appreciate having one of these. So that's my 2 cents.